right, so let's dive into this this fascinating world of Christmas art. It's
Yeah.
really amazing to me how one holiday can just spark so much creativity across, I mean, literally centuries.
Yeah.
And all these different art forms.
Truly.
We're talking paintings, music, literature, films.
Absolutely.
Really like a never-ending gift exchange of just artistic inspiration.
It is. It is. And all the themes that go along with Christmas, too.
Right.
You know, the joy, the love, hope, that sense of nostalgia.
Yeah,
It's all such rich material, I think, for artists to work with.
absolutely. And the source that we've got for this deep dive really digs deep into how Christmas has shaped all these different art forms.
Yeah.
And it's got me thinking, why is this holiday, more than any other, such a muse?
Well, I think what's so fascinating about Christmas is that it taps into these human experiences that we all share. You know, that longing we all have for connection,
Yeah.
the celebration of traditions.
Yeah.
That spark of magic that we all kind of crave, I think, especially when it starts to get darker outside.
That makes sense. And it's not all just sugar plums and snowflakes, right?
Right.
I mean, there's room for some of those deeper themes, too.
For sure.
You know, like reflection, generosity, even maybe a touch of melancholy.
Absolutely. And you see that reflected in the art itself if you look, for instance, at paintings. For
Okay.
example, we could start with the real classics, like the nativity scenes,
Right.
something like Botticelli's Adoration of the Magi.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Those Renaissance masterpieces. I
Right.
love the serene colors and all the detail, the glowing halos, the lambs.
Right.
They just have this feeling of peace and divinity, you know?
Exactly. And I know for many people, Christmas is really about celebrating Christ's birth.
Yeah.
And I think those paintings are really striving to capture that sense of awe that the sacred is coming into the world,
Yeah.
you know?
It's really like a window into how devoted they were,
Yeah.
but also their artistic skill. I mean, the way they use techniques like chiaroscuro to make those halos glow,
Oh, yeah.
it's really breathtaking.
Yeah, absolutely. But Christmas traditions, they evolved.
Uh-huh.
And we start to see artists depict the holiday in new ways.
Okay.
More of the secular scenes come out
Yeah.
that are capturing more the everyday joys and the traditions that people were experiencing.
It's like Christmas gets a little dose of reality.
Exactly.
Yeah, like all those cozy family gatherings
Yeah.
and Carl Larson's Christmas morning,
Yes.
warm and inviting.
Yes.
Or Peter Bruegel the Elder's winter landscapes.
Oh, yeah.
All those bustling villages covered in snow. Everyone's going about their day. So much life, so much activity.
It's fantastic. And I think those pieces really capture a different kind of magic.
Okay.
The magic of community, the
Right.
warmth of sharing traditions,
Yeah,
just the simple beauty of a snowy landscape.
totally.
And that's something we can all relate to,
Yeah.
even centuries later.
For sure. And speaking of capturing a feeling, let's talk about Christmas music.
Okay.
From hymns that feel timeless to, I mean, those pop hits that we all hum in December.
Yeah.
It's amazing how music has just become part of the fabric of Christmas. You know?
And it's such a diverse tapestry of music, too.
Totally.
If we go back to the origins,
Yeah.
Christmas music was really mostly religious.
Okay.
Think about Silent Night
Yeah.
with that powerful simplicity.
Oh, yeah.
Or the big choral arrangements of, "O come, all ye faithful."
Yeah. I mean, it's music that just speaks to your soul.
Uh-huh.
It's really about the spiritual heart of Christmas.
Yeah.
And you can't forget the amazing composers who brought their genius to the celebration, too.
Oh, of course not.
I mean, Bach's Christmas Oratorio.
Yeah,
Talk about taking it to the next level.
absolutely. Yeah, but then something really interesting happens when we get to the 20th century.
Okay.
We see this whole wave of secular Christmas music come on the scene.
Uh-huh.
And it captures different moods, different experiences of Christmas.
Okay. Now, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because these songs weren't just about reindeer and jingle bells.
Right.
They started to reflect the complexities of the modern world, you know?
Right.
Like take White Christmas, for instance.
Well, what's really fascinating about White Christmas
Yeah.
is that it wasn't just a catchy tune.
Yeah.
You know, it became a cultural touchstone during World War II.
Oh, wow.
It really captured that longing for home,
Yeah.
that longing for peace, for just a simpler time, you know?
Uh-huh.
And it really resonated with the soldiers overseas.
Wow.
And, of course, with the families back home waiting for them.
Yeah, it's like the song itself became this symbol of hope
Yes.
and resilience
Yes.
during such a hard time.
Absolutely.
And then you've got the more playful, lighthearted side of secular Christmas music.
Yeah.
Jingle Bells,
Yeah.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes. I mean, those are the songs that really capture the pure joy,
Yeah.
the wonder of childhood. And they've become holiday staples for so many families.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that these tunes have been reinterpreted by everyone from Bing Crosby to Mariah Carey just goes to show that they still resonate across generations.
Absolutely. And even today,
Yeah.
contemporary artists are finding new ways to express that Christmas spirit
Yeah.
through music. Blending genres, pushing the boundaries. It's like this musical snowball
Yeah.
that keeps getting bigger and more creative.
Totally.
But we've talked about visuals, we've talked about sound. How about we add some words to the mix?
Okay.
Let's dive into Christmas literature.
I mean, from heartwarming classics to whimsical tales, Christmas literature truly offers something for everyone.
I totally agree. Can you even imagine Christmas without a Christmas Carol?
Right.
I mean, Dickens, he really captured something profound with that story.
It's become so ingrained in our culture.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget how groundbreaking it really was. You know, Dickens took all those existing traditions of Christmas charity, the celebrations family,
Yeah.
and he just wove them into this really powerful narrative
Yeah.
about personal transformation
Yeah.
and social responsibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Scrooge's journey from like miserly curmudgeon
Right.
to like this generous benefactor.
Yeah.
It's almost become a template for redemption stories everywhere.
Totally.
That kind of makes you wonder, was Dickens himself trying to like inspire a bit more generosity
Right.
in Victorian society, you know?
It's certainly possible, but there's also this element of fantasy, the supernatural, that kind of adds another layer to the whole story, you know?
Right.
Those ghostly visits, the visions of Christmases past and future,
Yeah.
they tap into something, I think, primal about us, like our fascination with what we don't know.
Totally. And that reminds me of another Christmas classic that blends reality with that touch of magic.
Yeah.
The Nutcracker and the Mouse King.
Oh, yes.
A whimsical tale that sparked like one of the most beloved ballets ever.
I know. And it's amazing how a story originally written for kids
Yeah.
has captivated audiences for centuries.
Yeah.
And of course, the ballet adaptation by Tchaikovsky,
Oh, yeah.
with that iconic score,
That's so good.
it's become synonymous with Christmas magic and wonder.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like the story itself is a gift that keeps on giving,
Totally.
inspiring all these new interpretations and adaptations across, I mean, all these different art forms.
For sure.
Speaking of enduring classics, how about that poem that practically invented our modern Santa Claus?
You're talking about Clement Clark Moore's 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, right?
Yes. I mean, that poem
Oh, it's so good.
painted such a vivid picture of Santa, his reindeer, the whole magical delivery operation.
She did.
I mean, it's no wonder it became this cultural phenomenon.
It's true.
It's like more bottled Christmas Eve excitement
Yeah.
and sprinkled it into every line. And I think the poem's success is all about its simplicity,
Yeah.
that childlike wonder that it evokes, you know?
Right.
It's impossible not to feel a little bit of that Christmas magic when you read it.
It really is.
And speaking of magic,
Yeah.
we can't forget about the heartwarming stories that explore what giving really means.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like O. Henry's Gift to the Magi,
yes.
a story about selfless love, sacrifice, reminding us that the best gifts aren't like material possessions.
Right.
It's powerful, especially during a season that can sometimes feel so commercialized.
I know. It's a story that just speaks to your heart. And it's been adapted and reinterpreted countless times. It just proves that it's still relevant today.
Totally. And of course, no discussion about Christmas literature is complete without mentioning those children's classics.
Oh, of course not.
Like The Heartwarming Journey and The Polar Express, reminding us that the spirit of Christmas really lies in believing in what seems impossible.
Yeah, or The Grumpy Grinch. Yes.
He learns that Christmas is more than just presents and decorations.
Yeah. I think these stories, they capture the innocence and wonder of childhood,
They do.
but they also offer valuable lessons for adults too, you know?
They do. I think they remind us to approach the
Yeah.
holidays with, you know, a sense of childlike joy and wonder.
For sure. Speaking of journeys and wonder,
Yeah.
I think it's time to shift our attention to the silver screen.
Okay.
Christmas movies are like their own genre.
They are.
Yeah.
They truly are. And they offer such a range of emotions and
Yeah.
experiences reflecting, I think, all those different sides of the holidays.
Right. From heartwarming family films
Yeah.
to hilarious comedies, romantic tales, animated adventures.
Yes.
There's something for everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
can you imagine Christmas without It's a Wonderful Life?
No.
It's like the ultimate feel-good movie,
Yeah.
reminding us to appreciate the simple things in life
Yeah.
and the people who make our lives meaningful.
And it resonates on so many levels.
Yeah. It explores community, second chances,
Huh?
the ripple effect of our actions.
Right.
You know, it's a powerful reminder that even when things are dark,
Yeah.
there's always hope
Yeah.
and a chance for redemption.
It's truly a classic. And while It's a Wonderful Life speaks to the heart,
Right.
Miracle on 34th Street speaks to the child in all of us,
Yes.
reigniting our belief in magic and the spirit of giving.
It's a film that celebrates innocence
Yeah.
and reminds us to approach life, I think, with a sense of wonder.
Yeah.
And that courtroom scene where they prove Santa is real,
Oh, come on.
talk about a cinematic moment. It never fails to bring a smile to my face.
It's the ultimate victory
It is.
for believing in something beyond the ordinary.
Yeah.
And speaking of defying the ordinary, how about Home Alone?
Oh, yes.
It took the classic holiday homecoming
Yeah,
and, flipped it on its head.
totally.
Side-splitting laughs for the whole family.
I mean, it's a film that taps into our mischievous side,
Yeah.
our inner child. Uh-huh.
That loves a bit of harmless chaos.
Absolutely.
And the fact that it's become a tradition for so many families
Yeah.
just proves how appealing it is.
It really does. And the success of Elf shows
Yeah.
that audiences still crave that mix of humor and heartwarming moments,
Yeah.
especially during the holidays.
Absolutely.
It's like a modern-day fairy tale
Yeah.
that reminds us to embrace our inner child
Yeah.
and never stop believing in the magic of Christmas.
I love that. And for those looking for a bit of romance under the mistletoe,
Okay.
there are movies like Love Actually and The Holiday
Right.
that use Christmas as a backdrop
Yeah.
for those heartwarming stories about
Uh-huh.
finding love and connection.
Those films capture the cozy, romantic atmosphere of Christmas so well.
They do.
It's like they bottled up a snowy Christmas Eve
Right.
and just poured it onto the screen.
Exactly. And we can't forget the animated classics that have become like holiday staples.
Oh, of course not.
A Charlie Brown Christmas.
With its message about what the season really means,
Right.
and the Polar Express, with its amazing visuals and heartwarming story about believing.
It's amazing how these films can transport us back to our childhood
Yeah,
and remind us of those simple joys, the wonder of Christmas.
right.
But they also offer these timeless messages
Yeah.
that resonate with viewers of all ages,
Absolutely. And that kind of brings us back to that initial question we had.
Okay?
Why does Christmas inspire such a huge range of art?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because after going through all these different forms of art,
Yeah.
I feel like we've barely even scratched the surface. I mean, it really is kind of remarkable how Christmas seems to, tap into this
Yeah.
wellspring of creativity.
Yeah.
But WHY, what is it about this holiday that's got such a grip on our imaginations?
I think that's a great question, and I think it goes beyond just the religious aspect.
Uh-huh.
You know, whether you're celebrating the birth of Christ
Yeah.
or focusing more on secular traditions, Christmas seems to embody these universal human values
Yeah.
like love, hope, generosity, togetherness.
It's like Christmas gives us permission
Yeah.
to be our best selves, even if it's just for a couple weeks.
Right.
And artists, I think, pick up on that
Mm-hmm.
and reflect it in their work.
Totally. And, you know, we also can't forget just the pure visual beauty
Oh, yeah.
of the season.
Yeah.
You've got the snow, the twinkling lights, those cozy fireplaces.
Right.
It's a feast for the senses that just naturally lends itself to art.
It's like a real life snow globe,
Yeah.
And I think it's not even just about the external beauty.
Right.
Christmas encourages introspection.
Uh-huh.
It makes people think about the past,
Right.
celebrate traditions, reconnect with their loved ones.
Yeah, and that kind of reflection,
Yeah.
I think, really sparks creativity.
Totally.
It helps us see the world and even ourselves with fresh eyes.
And, let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of nostalgia mixed in there, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Those memories of Christmas morning as a kid,
Yeah.
all that excitement, anticipation.
Totally.
Artists tap into that.
Yeah.
That longing for a simpler time when
Right.
things felt more magical.
Especially nowadays with everything moving so fast,
Yeah.
so much chaos.
Yeah.
Christmas gives us that chance to slow down,
Right.
reconnect with those special memories,
Yeah.
and maybe even create some new traditions of our own.
Absolutely. It's like Christmas art kind of gives us a portal back to those feelings of wonder and joy,
Yeah.
but it also helps us carry those feelings forward.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
It really is.
And, we've seen how this plays out across all these different art forms.
Right.
From those paintings that capture the awe of religion and even those cozy family scenes to music that brings out both the spiritual solemnity and the joy of celebration.
Yeah.
To the stories that remind us of things like redemption,
Yeah.
generosity, the power of belief, to films that make us laugh. Yeah.
Make us cry and believe in magic all over again.
Right.
It's all connected.
As you were talking, I was thinking how all these different forms of art,
Yeah.
they don't just exist on their own.
Right.
They actually enhance and enrich each other.
Oh, that's a great point. Think about how many times we've seen that Christmas story, A Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
turned into films, plays, even operas.
Yeah.
Each interpretation brings something new.
Right.
A fresh way of looking at it,
Uh-huh.
a whole other layer of meaning to the original.
Or even like a classic Christmas song, Silent Night.
Yeah.
I mean, it evokes such vivid imagery in your mind.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're watching a movie unfold
Oh,
as
that-
you listen to it.
It's that interplay between the senses.
Yeah.
The power of imagination
Yeah.
that makes Christmas art so captivating.
I think it really speaks to the power of storytelling too,
Yeah.
That universal desire to share what we experience, our emotions, our ideas.
Christmas is just such fertile ground for all these stories to grow and flourish.
It is, and I think it's a good reminder that despite all our differences,
Wow.
we're all connected by these human experiences we share.
Yeah, that longing for love,
Yeah,
that hope for a better future,
yeah,
the joy of connection,
yeah,
especially during the holidays.
absolutely.
I think you said that beautifully. So it sounds like we've come full circle.
Yeah.
Christmas art isn't just about pretty pictures
Right.
or catchy tunes.
Mm,
It's really a reflection of who we are, both as individuals and as a society.
totally.
It's about hopes, fears, dreams,
Right.
and our lasting fascination with this magical season.
And it's a conversation that keeps changing.
Yeah.
Keeps surprising us, too. What started with those early nativity paintings has just grown and blossomed into this incredibly diverse and dynamic world of art.
It really is remarkable. This deep dive, it's left me feeling both inspired and humbled. I mean, the creativity, the ingenuity, it's mind-blowing. It's also made me realize that Christmas art, it's more than just entertainment,
Absolutely. I mean, it's about connecting with something bigger than us, something timeless.
Exactly. It's about tapping into that sense of wonder,
Yes.
that joy,
I
and
know.
carrying that with us
Yeah.
all year round. So as you go about your holidays this year,
Yeah.
try to see the world through an artist's eyes.
Yes.
Notice the beauty in the everyday things.
Yeah.
Find the joy in the simple things.
Yeah.
Let yourself be transported by the magic of the season.
I love that.
That's beautifully said.
Yeah.
And I think that's a perfect place to wrap up this festive deep dive. But
Yeah.
before we go,
Yeah.
I do have one final thought for our listeners.
I'm listening.
Christmas art, in every single form it takes, is a gift. It's a gift of creativity, inspiration, connection. And it's a gift that we can all share and appreciate.
Right.
So as we celebrate, let's embrace the spirit of giving.
Uh-huh.
Not just with the presents,
Right.
but with our time, our attention, and our open hearts.
I think that's a perfect way to end a reminder to approach the season with generosity,
Yeah.
with gratitude, with wonder, and to carry that spirit with us, not just during Christmas,
Yeah.
but all through the year.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Happy holidays to everyone listening.
Yeah.
And may your season be full of joy, warmth,
Yeah.
and a little Christmas magic.
Yeah.